And I hope you are doing well, and I hope I gave enough notice about going live. Let's see if we get some people coming in. Yeah, still waiting on some people, but yeah, it's been quite crazy, and I wanted to get some videos out to you guys this week, and I just, long story short, felt like I'm gonna go live instead. I mean, I'm trying to go live once a month just to touch base with y'all, but I've actually recorded 2 videos I planned on releasing this week, but I'm just not feeling a release to publish them. I mean, I recorded them, but I haven't edited them, and I'm feeling led instead just to go live. And we might talk a little bit more about that. I think, the astrology is really off right now, and maybe I feel like because of what's going on politically, my timing seems off with the videos that I had planned on releasing. It's like, do I really want to release that topic right now as this is going on? I don't know. So we'll talk about that as we get further into the broadcast, discussing the astrology and the current political climate, and I'm going to make some channel announcements as well, because I'm continuing to make changes with my channel. As many of you know, that's been going on for a while, but well, while I'm waiting for people to come in, let me see about getting those announcements out of the way, because I think that's probably maybe the least interesting for the people watching. So I'm gonna make it quick, okay? As many of you know, I closed down my Vimeo last month. At the very end of the month, I made announcements that, I wasn't going to, I wasn't going to continue on with Vimeo. And hold on, let me check something real quick. Yeah. So what I did is I moved from Vimeo, I moved my Healing from Narcissistic Abuse series off of there. Some of you know I've got the book, but you can get it on video format on Vimeo, or at least you could. And so I moved it off of there, and I'm going to be moving it on to Etsy. I did set up an Etsy shop, but I haven't made those videos available for sale as of yet, but that's soon to come. And so, I wanted to let you guys know about that. And, okay, that's weird. Yeah. Very weird, because I've been on here now for like 3.5 minutes, and I see that this is public and I don't have anybody in yet. So strange. I don't know if YouTube is not putting notifications out. We always have to wonder. Yeah, and especially somebody like myself whose political ideologies don't really align with YouTube, and we know what's going on politically with people getting censored and suppressed. And that kind of was already happening before, by the way, regardless, of political ideologies. But I'm really starting to get suspicious. I'm not surprised that that's what's going on, and I just don't even care anymore. I'm just at the point where I just don't freaking care. So it'll broadcast later, and if people want to watch it, they'll come to my channel and watch it. If they don't, they don't. I'm at this point where there's part of me that just doesn't care anymore. I've done all I can with my channel, and if YouTube is not going to promote me, if they're not going to notify people when I go live, it is what it is. See, there's something very weird going on right now because I'm 5 minutes into this live broadcast that is public and I've got not one person here. And this has never happened in the 3 years that I've had this channel and that I've gone live. And I have, there we go, finally one person. Whoever you are, thank you. Did you get notified that I'm live? I'm curious because it's just like grasshoppers out there, crickets. It's like crickets out there. And I've never experienced that before in the 3 years that I've been on here. So I'm just curious if people got notified or not. But anyway, going back to my my announcements, Vimeo is shut down, but I have taken my Healing from Narcissistic Abuse series in video form off of there, and I do intend on making them available for sale on Etsy. And so if you want to find me on Etsy, I'm at The Crowned Life is what it's called over there, the store, okay? And I'm also going to be making available some sage spray. I made an announcement around the 31st that I was, blessing and moon bathing water, and so I'm going to be offering that for sale. And anyways, that's going to be on Etsy. Whenever that's available, I'll put out a notice and let you guys know if you're interested, In time, I might add more things over there on Etsy. But it's kind of up in the air, and I'll talk more about why that's up in the air a little bit later. I also wanted to let you guys know that my school, I temporarily closed the paid school down for 3 months. I will reassess in 3 months if I want to open up the paid school, but I do have the free portion is still available, and if you are a paid student, you can still access those classes for the next 3 months. So, ideally, I'd like to offer more classes in the future, but as of right now, everything is really on hold for me and my channel. And, yeah, I think that's it. That's about all I have to say. I went over to TikTok because I heard that people are not dealing with all the censorship and the algorithms that are suppressing people, that we have to deal with here over on YouTube and Twitter and yada, 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 fill in the blank. So, excuse me. And then about as soon as I signed up over there, I started hearing reports that they are censoring people now and that it is saturated. It's not as saturated as YouTube, but it's pretty saturated. And so, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure. I was thinking I might do some little short video commentaries over there. But now with this latest news that I'm hearing that people are being censored as well, and they're starting to get their algorithms going over there, it's just like, well, here we go again. How much do I want to invest of myself in a unfair playing field? I'm already on unfair playing fields, namely Instagram. I only put pics up there for the most part, maybe some family videos. So those of you who want to kind of get to know me on a personal level, like my family life, my family, you could go to Instagram, but mostly all I do there is just post pics or little short videos having to do with my family, my kind of like lifestyle type stuff. But I don't even post really a lot over there. I'm on Pinterest, but that's mostly, for my blog and just sharing information with people. And for those of you who don't know, my blog is thecrownlife.com. And then I mentioned my book. I'm on Amazon.com. So y'all can find me all over there already. But like I said, I'm no longer on Vimeo.com. My school has been, the paid portion has been shut down for the next 3 months while I'm reassessing what I'm going to do with it from that point forward. And I am now over on Etsy and TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, look me up over there because I don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I gotta learn, I gotta learn. I have my 15-year-old teaching me. That's really sad. And she teaches me Insta as well. So, anyway, that's all I have for channel announcements. Let's talk about the astrology, and to me, that's a hot topic. I'm feeling the energy. I don't know if you guys are, any of you feeling drained, tired. Let me know in the comments below. And I think, like I said before, it has a lot to do with Mars retrograde. Mercury was retrograde. We finally came out of that on the 3rd. We're still in shadow, though, until the 19th. So, any of you had people, did you have anybody come back from your past to try to reconcile or make amends, things like that? I heard from some people. I will say that. I'm not going to say too much about it, but no change, no change. The things that we had a falling out on, they're nice to me. I'm nice to them, but it's the same shit. Another day, right? Another year, another decade. So it's gridlock, right? And I talked about that in a recent video. About why people never change. I don't know if y'all saw that. Let me pull that up. I talked about that in one of my recent videos about, why they never change. And why they never change. They're not sorry. They never come back, and well, yes, sometimes they do come back, but then, they're not sorry, or they say they're sorry, but, they're really just sorry that they got caught or something along those lines. So you're back at square one, because a lot of people, they're not going to make, the tough choices, to make changes in their lives. A lot of times it is what it is because they're not willing to walk away from something, and that's why you had to walk away from them, right? That's what that video was about. So I feel like if any of you from last Mercury retrograde dealt with people coming back, then that might have been an issue of they came back, but were you back at square one with this person? Like, well, here we are again. You still doing the same thing. You're still with that person, or you're still not giving fairly. You're still refusing to give fairly. And that's a rough thing about these Mercury retrogrades. Either people don't come back or they do, and it's whether they come back or they don't, you're still back where you left off at the same impasse. So, and then with Mars retrograde that we're still in the midst of, I've been talking about that, being very frustrating, very draining for a lot of people. And we've had Neptune retrograde as well in the midst of that. So, there's been a lot of people Neptuned out, okay? I mean, look at this whole political situation. A lot of smoke and mirrors. And I wrote about that on my community page for those of you who are, following me, you've activated the bell for notifications. You know that I've been writing about this political and astrological situation And by the way, I got a lot of likes. A lot of y'all read it, which, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when I wrote it, I was like, number one, is anybody going to read this? Because I'm posting it to a forum for video. You know, people are not really they tend not to read on a video forum, right? I mean, if it was a blog, maybe it'd be different. But number two, it's hot button, issues. And so a lot of you gave it a like, which shocked me. I was actually, when I wrote it and posted it, I was not expecting to get a lot of affirmation. And so, yeah, I'm looking at this I'm 15 minutes into this now, and I've seen a couple people click in and click out, and I don't know what's going on. Now I got one person in, but there's something going on with this live. This is highly unusual for me to go live with this many subscribers and to not have people talking by now. It's very odd. Very odd. So, and I've got the chat visible, and like, yeah, whoever that was, they just came and they went, and I don't know what's going on with the live broadcast, but I guess I'll find out when I, finish. And this is probably going to be a short video, by the way, because if I don't have audience engagement and we're not talking, then I'll say what I got to say and I'm going to get off. But wow, I mean, what an experience for me, because, all right, we'll tie back to this in just a moment. Let me get back on topic with the astrology. Okay, so a lot of people have been Neptuned out lately. A lot of people, because of Neptune retrograde in Pisces. Bunch of smoke and mirrors going on with the election, with life in general. People just not being able to make heads or tails of things. And the good thing about Neptune being retrograde is that, during the course of the next couple weeks, we're going to see that veil lifting, and I think more clarity coming out, especially as we come out of that shadow aspect of Mercury having been in retrograde, So as we get to the end of the month, it's going to get a lot more clear for many of us. This is good. And I've been seeing it, by the way, this week. I mean, last week was crazy with the election. People were like, what the hell was that going on? You go to bed and it looks like one person's winning. You wake up and somebody else is totally, taking the cake, and out of nowhere, and it doesn't even make any statistical, logical sense. I mean, really, it's like a statistical impossibility what happened, which is why, nobody's trusting it, right? So yeah, like that Biden curve. Have y'all seen that? Biden curve is like, Trump's like way up here, and then all of a sudden they stop taking the votes, and then the Biden curve does a direct like that. Like, what? How does that happen? How do you do that? It's a statistical anomaly. But anyway, in Neptune land, when you're Neptuned out, which by the way rules media and Hollywood, well, yeah, we can just auto-magically, make anybody win now, can't we? So it's all getting clearer, though. It's getting a lot more clear, and it's funny because they were saying we had a clear winner on November 4th, the day after the election. Oh, no. But it's getting clearer. It's getting clearer what really went down. Day by day, when I get online and I research, I'm getting more information, putting the pieces together, And I see this solid case building now, like, oh, I see what happened here. Now I see what happened. We could speculate before, but as the days go on, that speculation starts becoming, um, more solid. So what else? And for me, I'm going to say this, that, all of us, remember, we're all dealing with these energies collectively, right? Neptune retrograde in Pisces, but it's in different houses for us, okay? Um, and Mars retrograde and in different houses for us. So um, look at where Mars is right now in your natal chart. For those of you who know to do that, you can go to Cafe Astrology or astro.com, wherever you want to go. I like to go to astromatrix.org. But you can look at where Mars is right now in your natal chart, where it's transiting, okay, and that will tell you a lot of where this is affecting your life. And for me, I like looking at that stuff because it helps me put things into perspective. And for me personally, I've been sharing with y'all that Mars retrograde is hitting me really hard. Because it's been in my 12th house. And the problem is the timing of it all occurred, during the retrograde. So it's kind of like Mars came into it went from my 11th to my 12th like that. And then Mars went retrograde, so it went back through the 12th house like that. And then when it goes direct, it's going to go back through the 12th house. So by the time it's all said and done, Mars will have been in my 12th house for like 5 months, which is horrible. Okay, for those of you who don't know, Mars is about your assertion. Mars, it can be sexual energy as well, how you assert yourself in the bedroom or how you assert yourself out of the bedroom, And 12th house is like having to do with prisons and hospitals. I'm sharing this with you particularly for those of you who are, following my channel and you're wondering, like, what is going on with her? Oh my God. Mars in my 12th house, this is going on with me. And, excuse me. And what's happening is that I am having a hell of a time sleeping at night. I have once again gone completely off of caffeine, trying to get myself to sleep at night. I just can't seem to, for the life of me, be on the world's clock. And it's frustrating me, I've also been feeling a lack of drive, a lack of motivation. I've been feeling also like, I'm going to be completely honest with y'all, lost. And that's saying a lot, because I think I know myself pretty well, but when you kind of keep hitting brick walls and nothing works, you're just like, and, I've had a lot of dreams this year about it as well. I had dreams I shared with y'all about being railroaded in. How are you going to fight a train? There's no fighting that. And I had also dreams about my car driving in reverse and the brakes didn't work. And, I sat down and thought about it. What's the message? What's the message from spirit, Because I'm a big believer in dream interpretation. I'm a big believer that God speaks to us through our dreams and visions and stuff like that. So the message I got from all these dreams over 2020 for myself was stop, wait, it's out of your control. And I see that with the astrology, with Mars in my 12th house until the end of February, So, I've been honest, I'm going to be completely honest with you that I felt like, Neo in the train station. For those of you who know, the movie The Matrix, when Neo's stuck in the train station, it's like he's in an alternate dimension, an alternate reality. And there's no getting out of there. You can hop on a train in the subway station, but it's just going to bring you right back around. You're just going to come right back to the same spot. And the only way in that scene that Neo was going to get out of the train station is that he was going to have some kind of intervention from friends, divine intervention, whatever. They were going to have to come in and get him out of that alternate reality because he was stuck in some kind of a time warp or whatever. And that's how I feel. I'm not saying I'm in a time warp, but that's how I feel, like Neo in the train station. Like, well, what am I going to do? Just sit here and twiddle my thumbs because Mars is in my 12th house. And I'm having all these dreams that I'm railroaded or that my car's driving only in reverse and the brakes don't work. And, and then you add to that, I just finally realized that I'm dealing with an inverse or reverse nodal return. Okay, so like we're all collectively right now dealing with the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. Well, that's the opposite of my nodes. And I had somebody recently look at my chart and they're like, damn, you're just gridlocked. I mean, there's nothing, there's everywhere you go, block, 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 block. And it's almost like the universe is saying, just be quiet for now, And so I am. I mean, that we're not going to get out of the North Node in Gemini and the South Node in Sagittarius. I'm sorry, did I say that right? Yeah. South Node in Sagittarius. That's not going to end until January 18th of 2022. So, I mean, and again, it affects each of us differently. If you're like me and your nodes are opposite of that, then you're dealing with an inverse or reverse nodal return. And it's almost like, everything that the universe is pushing to move towards, you're not supposed to. In your natal chart, you're supposed to be releasing all that. It's almost like swimming against the current, And that's how I feel right now. I feel like, with Mars in the 12th house till the 28th of February for me, and, with this inverse nodal return that I'm going through until January of 2022, it's like, I do think things are going to get better next year, by the way. I mean, I think that next year is going to be a very pivotal year. And in a way, I'm glad that all this stuff that went down politically went down. I mean, I know it's shocking, but it's just been over the last 24 to 48 hours. I've had this revelation that, you know what? I'm kind of glad this happened. I mean, no, I'm not happy that any of my fellow Americans are getting their votes stolen and the election stolen. I'm not happy about that at all. But at the same time, I knew this stuff went on. I've known about this since probably 2012, okay? But I'm glad it finally came out in the public arena so that people can stop being in denial, because I've tried to talk to people about this over the last 8 years since I've known about it. And generally the kind of response that I get is, oh, this is America. That will never happen here. Well, enough of that, right? We've got that documented to the contrary, all over the internet now, don't we? Okay, so no more of that silliness. No more of that naivete. And the beautiful thing about that as well is I think that by next year, we're probably going to see a lot more reforms come up. As a matter of fact, it's already started. I mean, today I watched Senator Ted Cruz grill, oh, darn it, what is his name? On about Twitter, okay? And there's a video here on YouTube about it as well. Let me see if I can pull it up, but Senator Cruz was grilling the head of Twitter, and basically, saying who elected you to control the flow of information and to censor major media outlets. Like they censored the Washington Post, and let me see if I can pull that my history. I was watching it today. So I see, Congress is already starting to question these people. Yeah, Senator Ted Cruz grills Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey for censoring Hunter Biden story. All right. So we already see that big tech is being questioned. And for me, as a content creator, I'm hopeful about that, because this has been a dismal year for online business owners. I've done my research and I've learned that online businesses have been in a recession. And part of the problem is that there's a lot of oversaturation. And you're trying to compete with so many people on an unfair playing field with these algorithms that are favoring certain people, suppressing others. And I'm seeing more people finally in here. Welcome. And so what's happening is, if you're being true to who you are, and who you truly are does not align with that platform's ideology, I mean, you're just not going to get promoted. You better carry the water. You better toe the line for these people, or you're going to starve, And that's sad. That's a sad reality. But I am hopeful that next year the tide is going to turn on that, and people are going to start, cracking down on this. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, but I'm hopeful that, somebody says YouTube is being hacked. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I see more people finally coming in. Thanks for letting me know. I mean, if you know more about YouTube being hacked, let me know. Comment. I'd see if you can elaborate on that. Please do. But I'm looking forward to big tech reforms next year, and I think that that's not only going to help, the politics here in America to have more open discourse, instead of, having this like some, Nazi Germany or, North Korea communism or whatever, where, you're only allowed to say the politically correct, statist approved narrative, like enough of that, right? I think as a side benefit, it's going to help online businesses. It's going to help to level the playing field. How exactly they're going to do that and how soon, I don't know, but I'm hopeful that what has gone down with the election is going to make way for more of an even exchange. Into Groove is here. That's someone I recognize. Good to see you. The world is effing nuts, she said. Hey, I agree. What is effing nuts is that people in America, supposed to be, land of the free, home of the brave, and, we're running this place like it's, North Korea, USSR, communist China. You've got these Marxist, Leninist type, people who are trying to control speech here in a country that is historically known for freedom. I mean, we're not too free anymore, obviously, but, these are Americans. We're seeing this all over the the news, people videoing it. You have Americans who are videoing themselves like, haha, look at me, I'm working down at the poll booth and I'm throwing these votes away. Haha, like, hello, do you not know where you're at? We got laws here. That's a felony, dude. You can't do that. You can't. You proud of this? You're going to put this on, you're going to record it, and then you're going to put it on social media for everybody to see. I mean, like, they don't even know what freedom is. And DeGriff is saying, generation of triggered babies not maturing. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is snowflakes. It's the snowflakes. And the crazy thing is, what's sad to me is that you have the younger people get in generations, the further they remove they are from understanding that this is a constitutional republic. It's not supposed to be a democracy. People running around, it's a democracy, it's a constitutional republic. And they don't know the difference between that. Democracy is mob rule. A constitutional republic is rule of law. We have laws here. You're going to follow that. Okay, just because the mob tells you that somebody won, sit down, shut up, suck it up, baby, doesn't, no. We got laws here. You got to follow. Okay? Just because you don't like who somebody else voted for does not mean that that gives you the right to tear up their vote and go dump it in a lake. You know, doesn't give you the right to go steal their political sign out of their front yard. Doesn't give you the right to pick a fight with them and assault them because they're wearing a hat or a t-shirt that says, you know, some politician that you don't agree with. And who are the people who are doing this kind of stuff? Let's just say, come on. I'm not going to say it here because I don't have to. Who does that? I'm going to let y'all answer. Y'all answer. Who does that? I don't want to be the bad person and call it like it is. Okay, but I mean, fill in the blank. It ain't hard. It's real easy. Who does that? And this is in what's supposed to be a free country, but apparently you're not free in America, of all places, to vote your conscience. And I didn't even vote, by the way, for either one of these guys, okay, because I'm so pro-liberty. I'm more pro-liberty than Donald Trump. I know. It's crazy. Imagine that. Imagine that. But I'm not against him. And my thing is, I do have friends on both sides. But yeah, Indigroove is saying TV is warping minds. Right. And that's the thing. I had this revelation last night, Indigroove, is why? What is compelling these people to commit felony against their fellow Americans? What would drive a person to, you know, steal their fellow Americans' vote, to steal their fellow Americans' political signs out of their front yard, to attack them for wearing a t-shirt or a hat that says their political candidate? What would compel an American to do that? And I really feel you're dealing with people who, yes, are brainwashed, like Indigroove is saying, TV, this Marxist, communist, socialist programming that they are putting on. And these people are watching it every day. I told y'all months ago, shoot your TV. You watch that shit long enough, they're going to have you believing that everybody's a racist, everybody's a homophobe, the patriarchy, the patriarchy, the patriarchy, dear God, sweet Jesus. Really? Really? It's like, that's all. That's the only language these people speak. Racism, 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 homophobia, patriarchy. That's all you hear about. And you brainwash yourself with that every day. Repetition is a brainwashing technique. You keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it. Rinse, recycle, repeat, you know? And then that's all they see. That's all they see. And if you start seeing your fellow American as the enemy, the racist, the homophobe, the whatever, fill in the blank, okay? That these people are being conditioned with every time you turn that TV on and listen to these people, then yeah, you're going to go out and you're going to act like a freaking sociopath, if not a psychopath. And notice, I didn't call him narcissist. And I wrote a book about narcissism, okay? Because I'm going to tell you what, a narcissist at least going to put up a show, all right? They're going to smile in your face, tell you what you want to hear, all right? But a sociopath is, you know, antisocial. They don't give an F about you. And they're going to tell you straight up to your face. And they're going to do things like election interference. They're going to do things like roll around in the middle of the night, stealing signs out of people's yard. I mean, this is, I'm sorry, I'm on this about America, okay? I have a friend who's pro-Trump. He did not put a Trump sign in his yard. I said, where's your Trump sign? He put up everybody else that he was voting for, but not Trump. I said, well, hey, you know, and I didn't vote for Trump, but I'm just curious, like, why didn't you put up a Trump sign? You're for Trump. I know you are. Where's your sign? And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with it. I said, why? And he's like, oh, they're just going to steal it. They're just going to steal it. Do you see what we've come to? Do you see what we've come to? And in the days following the supposed Biden-elect, president-elect, clear winner, saw a lot of people coming on Twitter and elsewhere talking about, let's compile lists of the Americans who have voted for Trump or didn't vote Biden or aren't supporting this or are questioning this election and the integrity of it. Let's compile lists. Again, what are we in? Nazi Germany? What year is this? 1945? I mean, these people, they don't know history or they don't care. I don't know. But it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what's going on. And if y'all want to know why the hell I'm fired up, I'm going to tell y'all. You know, I usually try to keep it toned down on this channel because I know most of the people who watch this are not here for this, okay? But this is a hot topic right now. Usually I try to keep my politics separate and private because I know how divisive it is. Believe me, I know. But understand, this is in my blood. This is in my DNA. I have men in my family who have fought for freedom in America going all the way back to the Revolutionary War. So you don't really need to talk to me about the ills of socialism and communism. And yeah, I was born and raised in Texas. And over the last 45 years that I've been living here, I have seen this state become increasingly socialized. And when we see what's happening, we see how that's happening. It's because people are coming into this state from predominantly California, California. Yeah, there, I gotta get my words right. California. Yeah. And Chicago and New York. These are all Democratic dumps. These are all Democrat dumps where people have been ravished. They've been, is that even the right word? God, I feel like I'm still in Mercury Retrograde. they've been, ravish is not the right word. Cut that. Maybe y'all can help me with my words. They've been decimated is what I really want to say. I was looking for another word that started with R, but can't find it. It's boop. But what I mean to say is they have been economically devastated in these states and cities because of socialist communist policies run amok by the Democrat ruling class in those areas. And then what happens is that we here in Texas, we get these people coming here like economic refugees. And at first they think it's so damn wonderful because we don't have a state tax, you know, and they can buy so much more with less money, you know, and they feel the economic freedom of being in what is a red state, you know. But then what do? They come in and they want to start making it blue. They don't seem to make the connection that you just left a blue state because of blue policies. And you come to get safe haven here in a red state, but now you're going to bring those same policies over here that are ravaging. That's what the word I was looking for earlier. Anita, you are terribly wrong. Okay, Anita, please share with me because I'm seriously about free speech. Go right ahead. I welcome you to differ. Please, Anita, you tell me why I'm terribly wrong. I want to hear it. You know, and I think that this is really the answer to this issue is that those of us who disagree, we need to be able to have open dialogue. People need to be free to disagree. And that's what went wrong in this election is that people are not free to disagree. And so Groove is saying, no way those vote numbers are real. No, they're not. They're statistically impossible. Impossible. Maureen says, I'm glad I live in Canada. Nothing like what's going on down there ever happened here. Well, I mean, with all due respect, Maureen, Canada's kind of already been taken over. It's, you know, it's already very socialist up there, you know. So there's no war going on. Nobody's fighting for freedom over there. It's not, you know, those of us who, like I said, we come from bloodlines that have fought for this constitutional republic. We do not want to go to the way of Canada or, you know, any of the Brexit countries. We don't want any part of that socialism. And we're fighting against, you know, that because on the political scheme, we know that once you get into socialism, and we basically, we do have socialism here. This is the reality. I mean, our forefathers would be rolling in their graves. You know, they knew, I think, okay, we do have a lot of socialism already here. And huge government. That's another reason why, you know, I didn't vote for Trump because I'm for limited government. Trump is big government. But, you know, let's see, Anita. Yeah, Indigru saying, where's the queen? Yeah, I do believe that's monarchy over there. Indigru saying, I believe we are playing out an astrological script more and more. That's an interesting note, Indigru. Talk, if you can, elaborate more on the astrology. I'd be interested in hearing that. Anita's finally responding back. Too much to type. Please state your facts to back up your claim. What facts do you want? You know, it's a constitutional republic. You know, and that means that we follow rule of law, not mob rule. And there's laws here, you know. And I don't know what it is that you're disagreeing with. You can go on to Google and you can find out that a lot of the people coming to Texas are coming from California, Chicago, New York, and those are Democrat-ruled areas. Even right now, over the last 6 months, my God, there's been a mass exodus from California, and they're going into red states. They're going into red states by record number because they need relief from the taxation and the regulations that are killing them. I have family out in California. You know that? Living 3-4 generations deep in one house. The people cannot even survive out there. They can barely survive because they're being taxed and regulated to death. And so they come out to these red states like Texas to get some kind of economic relief, but then they want to turn this blue over here. But they were just running from that. They're not making the connection that the economic warfare is because of Democrat policies, socialism, the taxation, the big government, the high regulations. That's what happens. You lose your financial freedom when you sign up for all that. I don't know what else kind of proof you want me to give you. You can verify all this on Google. Anita says, God forbid tax cuts your red candidates have given to billionaires could help human beings get human rights. You know, and this is exactly the problem, Anita. What you're saying is that the tax. Okay, Anita says, I know you are wrong because I know my facts. Okay, well, but you're not sharing your facts. You're saying it's too much to write, and I'm here listening to you. So what I know is that if you want to empower people and you want to give them financial freedom, you don't tax them and regulate them to death. Anita, I'm from California. Thank you for letting me know, Anita. Thank you. And see, I'm sorry, but a lot of times when you talk to people from California, they're California shows. And again, I'm not trying to be ugly, but you're kind of a product of your environment. And I'll readily admit I'm a product of mine. I've been in Texas all my life, okay? And when I've gone to visit California, I'm just going to say, as a Texan, as an outsider, somebody who's, yes, I'm familiar with liberal media. How could I not be? But I'm also aware of other voices. When I go to places like California, and I've traveled to New York City, and I've been to Chicago, I go to areas that are Democrat ruled, you do not see the diversity of ideas. What you see is that these people are in a philosophical bubble. And anything outside of that bubble is, oh, you're a redneck, you're fringe, you're ignorant, you're racist, you're a bigot, you're blah, 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 fill in the blank, which automatically makes you the enemy. And again, the emotionalism coming up where we're hating against our fellow Americans when we need to have honest conversations. And when you're saying, well, I know my facts, I'm like, bring it. Bring your facts, you know? Let me go to, yeah, I agree. Indigo saying Anita is emotional. I agree. Anita says, proof would be hard facts. And Indigroove is saying California is good at creating homelessness. Yeah, well, so here's what let's talk about a fact since you're not bringing any right now. Okay. I'll bring a fact and you can tell me what you have to say about it. Okay. So fact, there's a lot of homelessness in California. Record numbers. I mean, more so than other states. California has some of the highest numbers of homelessness. And of those who are not homeless, California currently over the last year has had a record high number of people fleeing the state. Why, Anita? Why are they leaving and why are they homeless in California? And you're a California, so you tell us, why is this happening? I'm ready for the facts. I'm open. Let's have a discussion here. And, while I'm waiting on Anita to respond, let me say I'm really glad that we're able to have this conversation, because we need less censoring and blacklisting people and all of that. Anita's saying, have you brought yours other than yours opinion? That didn't make any sense. I gave you one. What is your opinion that you gave? I didn't list a fact that you gave. See, we're getting into some kind of circular talking here. I gave you facts. Like, I don't know what your fact is. I gave you a fact. There's record number of homelessness in California, fact one. There's record number of people leaving. A mass exodus has been happening in California. Two facts here. And my question is, why, Anita? Why are people leaving California like never before? And why are there so many homeless there? Anita says, what does that have to do with you, and why do you despise them coming from Texas? I don't despise them. I love them. And one of my closest girlfriends is from California, and she moved to Austin. And she was an ex-liberal, and she was like, I'm glad I'm out of there. She's like, and she used to tell me, because, she lived in LA. And she said, Stephanie, and when this was back when I was living in Austin, and I used to go hang out with her at her house in Austin. And she was like, yeah, these people that you're seeing down at the store, and they don't say please, they don't say thank you, there's no hospitality, Southern hospitality. She was like, that's California. Those are the Californians. And she's like, they're coming over here from Silicon Valley and they're trying to change the state. And she said, and I lived in it and I was part of them and I know who they are. And she's just like, they're gonna turn the state blue if you leave it up to them. So, I mean, I told you, like, I've had friends from California. I still have friends from California. I have family out in California. I don't despise or hate them. But what I do despise is that there is brainwashing going on in mainstream media. And when I've gone out into California and I look at, who the media they're following out there, they're in a philosophical bubble. They seem to be unaware. And then when they can't make ends meet, they don't make the connection that it's because of the socialist policies. So they flee to conservative states like Texas, and then they try to bring the socialist policies with them that ruined them financially in the first place. They don't seem to make the connection, Anita's saying you're diverging from where I started. Read your thread. Why the labels? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Anita, I feel like you when I ask you a direct question, you don't answer directly, but you type a whole lot about go back and read, and I don't have time to write that, and you just, yeah, it is a judgment call, because I'm being very precise with you, but you're not being precise with me. And so I'm not playing any games. Like, I don't know what facts you're trying to call forth for us to discuss here. I've brought facts, which you haven't answered. So I'm about to move this conversation on to somebody else. She's saying, let it go blue and live your life happily. Well, I mean, it's not going to happen on my watch, you know. It's, you know, but again, it's not about me, and it's not about you either. It's about all of us as Americans, you know. And my feeling, again, as the descendant of many men who fought to defend freedom in this country, going all the way back to the Revolutionary War, my feeling is that if you want to live in a socialist or communist country, you should go do that, okay? You know, but you should not try to make that something here, because they're, you know, you're spitting in the face, more or less, of the men and women who lost their lives so that we would have freedom here. It's highly disrespectful to the veterans to try to, you know, turn this into a socialist or communist country when so many people laid down their lives so that we wouldn't have to live like that. If you want to live like that, you should go move to you know, North Korea, China, you know, Venezuela. That's lovely, right? That's lovely. Go live over there if you like it so much. You know, go live in the UK and the Brexit, you know, countries. You see how much they love that, you know. But you know, again, as the descendant of, you know, someone who fought in the Revolutionary War, we just can't, in good conscience, go along with a socialist communist takeover of our country. So, Anita, this is all opinion. You just don't like people different than you. I mean, what would it mean for me to like people different? Like, I'm liking you. I'm being nice to you. We don't agree. You're free to disagree. I don't understand where this is coming from, but anyway. So, yeah, I do feel like also people who talk like this, oh, that's your opinion, but they listen to opinion pieces all day long. I mean, that's what's the news has become. We don't really have journalism anymore, you know. And I've said that before in live broadcasts. Investigative journalism has long been dead, and you see that's the case. I mean, when there were questions raised about the legitimacy of this election, unanimously, the media, including Fox News, who's supposedly conservative, they're not, but they unanimously just debunked it. They balked at it. Nobody even investigated. It was all opinion pieces. And that's who these people follow. But then somebody like me comes on and says their opinion, oh, that's just your opinion. You just don't like people, that's why. Come on now. Let's get real. You didn't say that. You probably didn't say that about the election, you know? And so Trap House is saying shout out to all the single dads in the chat. Yeah, well, I shout out to all the single parents. How about that? Indigru, thank you for, you know, your comment. She's saying censorship is dangerous. I agree, and I'm really concerned about where this is headed, because I'm going to tell you that, again, you know, as a conservative, a liberty-minded person, I what I'm doing right now is pretty ballsy, damn it. Pretty damn ballsy, okay? Because I've long known you can't do this. You can't, there will be, I'm sure, people who watch this broadcast and they're going to be like, unsubscribe. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know that's going to happen because that's how people are in this country. And they don't know how to remain friends with people who disagree with them. And it's like, Anita was saying, I don't like people different than me. No, I've gotten along with so many people that are different from me. Let me tell you, I've worked in predominantly liberal environments where I'm the minority, and I've tried to, keep my political views very private. And I've been in work situations where, people are talking politics around the lunchroom table or whatever, and I really don't agree with them, but I've told myself, Stephanie, you're not here to talk politics with these people, and I don't. I don't get paid for that, so I don't engage in it, and I try to keep my politics separate. And I've gone to great lengths to, make my private, personal social media private, okay? But unfortunately, we live in a day and age where people like to get nosy, especially employers. And this is the truth, that once they find out you're not part of their blue team, they don't want to hire you, they don't want to promote you. And I did work in one particular environment where I got hired on, and then later on they figured out that that I had given them a professional media, social media profile, and they wanted to know what my real social media profile was, and I said, that's personal, that's private, and they demanded. So I gave it to them, and then that's when they figured out my views. They figured out my political views, and then everybody I was working with, most of them, I'd say 95% of them were Democrat, but I got along with all of them. And they knew that I treated them like a human. I respected them. I would never steal their vote. I would never steal their sign out of their front yard. I would never pick a fight with them because they're wearing a t-shirt that says I would not do that. That is so anti my philosophy, my politics, okay? So I got along with all kinds of people, and yet, the higher you get up the chain in these companies, the harder it is to get a job as a conservative, even in a conservative state like Texas, because they want to know that you're going to keep your mouth shut and you're going to toe the line for them, and you're going to, carry the water. So, and I'm seeing them already, like I said, on social media talking about creating these lists now to document people like myself who are not going along with carrying the water, and make sure that there's, economic warfare going on. Excuse me. And these are the kind of tactics that are used in socialist, communist, Marxist political environments. People are not free to disagree. Like Anita, you can come back next, I don't know how many times, and we're good. Like, I don't care. Like, you want to be blue, you want to be Democrat, you want to live in California, you like it over there, you like communism, socialism, do your thing. Do it, okay? Because I would never steal your vote. I would never steal your signs or pick a fight with, I'm not about that. I'm not about that at all. And I've worked with people, like I said, that were so different from me, and we get in some pretty heated fact checking back and forth, and we might, not ever convince the other person, but come back, maybe to work the next day and get along just great, work together just fine. Because to me, it's about more than that. It's about people. It's putting people first. And unfortunately, that's something that was not happening in this election. That's why we got so much trouble right now, is because people don't know how to put people first and respect people's right to disagree. And just because it's their opinion doesn't mean it's not valid. Thank you, Sunflower. She says, I agree with you. Indigroove is saying social credit score system already in use, been unemployed since college, 5 years now. I don't fit in. Hey, I'm right there with you. Indigroove, where is this social credit score system that's already in use? Can you tell me more about that? Because I have long sensed, I know, there are things that employers are doing to, they're going to check out your social media. We know about this, but now there's different programs where even if you were to delete your profile or make it private or unlisted or whatever, they have ways about pulling up old archived profile imaging to see what you had before you made it unlisted or whatever. So I've suspected this as well because, hold on one second. I ran into a lot of brick walls, and I run into a lot of brick walls myself, and I haven't been able to really prove it, but it's almost like, damn, it's like there's a curse. There's a curse, I can't, I've not been able to get hired. And it's probably for the best. I've somewhat blamed it on the astrology. I had an astrologer tell me back in 2016, he said, you're not supposed to be working for other people. And sure enough, I've not been able to. I feel like it's a block, but I do feel like there's something going on with the, there's some kind of social credit score system going on, like Indigroove was saying. So, hi to those of you who joined. Peace of Mind, Sunflower, As Chi, and Rap Music and Beats has joined in. These are some new names. I'm telling you, and I welcome new people. I really do. I see some familiar names, and that's good. But tonight has been a weird night because I'd say for probably definitely the first 15, maybe even, if I recall correctly, 30 minutes, nobody. It was just crickets, Yeah, it was very weird. And then as people started coming in, I'm getting a lot of new people that I've never gotten before. So something is going on with the YouTube algorithm or whatever. Okay, so Indigroove is saying third-party websites, employers have a database, no doubt. Good to meet you, Raina. And somebody here says, hi, I'm glad to see you live. Thank you. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, I suspect that there's something, going on, and I just feel like whether you're red or blue, okay, we should be able to join on one common thing, and that's freedom. Freedom. If any of y'all want to know, who I most align with, it would be Ron Paul. Ron Paul's long gone, though, right? from the, he's semi-retired. He's got a show, but he's not active politically as a politician, as a statesman. But that's what I align with. And what was cool about Ron Paul is that he united both the left and the right on the cause of freedom. And once people got really clear about how both the left and the right have been running us deeper in debt, taking more of our freedoms away, you could get lefties and righties to really get on the same page and start working together, which I think is a beautiful thing. But there's got to be open dialogue. And unfortunately, if you're dealing with people who just want to steal from other people because they think that there's hate, or you just don't like us, or that's your opinion, and you don't have facts, and I know I have the facts, and it's like, how can we reason here? It's hard to really connect with those people. But if we can have an honest conversation about freedom, people having the right to believe what they believe and not face economic retribution, not be put on blacklists where they're not going to be hired, not have fear of just, wearing a t-shirt or a hat that says their politician on there with, fear of being attacked, and this is sad. We've got Americans who are afraid of being attacked for, letting it be known who they support. I mean, you've heard about this silent majority. How many people silently support Trump because they're afraid of telling people at work that they're going to be ostracized, they won't be promoted, they'll be excluded from activities. They don't want to talk about it. Like if they're an online business like me, oh my God, don't say anything because then I'm going to get a bunch of people unsubscribing. I don't even want to wear a shirt or have a bumper sticker on my car because my car is going to get vandalized or I'm going to get attacked. I mean, this is no way for anybody to live. And in America of all places, not right at all. Peace of mind is saying deep state, red or blue, it's all an illusion to maintain their control anyway. Yeah. And Sunflower is saying Ron Paul would have made a great president. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. Well, yeah, it didn't work out for him because in 2012, during the Republican National Convention, he had it stolen from him. He had the nomination stolen from him. That's when I first woke up to election fraud, was in 2012. And that's when I got really pissed because I saw that Fox was in on it. I saw the Republicans were in on it. And I saw that even the Republicans who were there at the convention, and they knew what happened. They saw it. They voted for Romney anyway. I was so absolutely disgusted. Like, I didn't even want to be associated with the Republican Party after I saw what they did to Ron Paul. And I quit watching Fox News. And so, and I tried to warn people and they looked at me like I was crazy. And then the same thing happened again in 2016 with the Democratic Party National Convention, DNC, where the Democrats stole the nomination from Sanders to give it to Hillary, and that was put on YouTube, and they actually pissed a lot of people off because a lot of Democrats during that convention, they saw what happened. And they got so pissed off, they went out and voted for Trump. And I saw some people give testimonies and say, I can't even believe they did this to me. I'm so pissed off and voting for Trump. So, I mean, voter fraud goes on in both parties, and it's been going on for years. And I've tried to say this to people, and people give me this deer in the headlights look, typical Aquarian problems, like, what's her, like, what planet is she from? And I'm like, where are you from? Do you not do your homework? Do you not read? Do you not research? Am I the only one here that is seeing this go on? out in the public sphere. I mean, but I think there's cognitive dissonance. Like they saw it, but they didn't see it. Because if they really saw it, like then they'd have to do something about it. But then they don't, you know? But now this is at such a large scale that you can't deny this. You can't make this go back to normal after what happened on November 3rd. Peace of Mind is saying, yeah, gaslighting. Indigroove is saying, fear tactics, we need to confront these bullies and gaslighters. Agreed, agreed. Rap Music and Beats is saying, London had mad riots recently as well. And I think that, I was going to say, Rap Music and Beats, I am concerned that we're going to continue to see more of that, particularly as more evidence of voter fraud comes out and it becomes abundantly clear that the clear president-elect is not really clear. Yeah, not clear to be president, you know. I think that we might be getting some more riots, unfortunately. Again, because this is going to hit the demographic that, you know, again, in my opinion, it is my opinion, but it's kind of fact too. Look it up, you know, statistically, when we turn on the news and we see people burning down cities, looting neighborhoods, businesses. I mean, small local businesses, mom and pop places. My God, they're burning them down and looting them. You know, who's doing this? It's the far left. It's the far left. And so, you know, buckle up. Buckle up. I mean, there's some astrology in December that's looking pretty questionable as well. Like, it could get very heated as we get into December. Peace of Mind is saying, did you know that the idea of conspiracy theory was created in the 50s to protect government lies? Yes, it was created by the CIA to cast doubt upon people who were questioning the official narratives, to make you look like you're a crazy person for questioning. It is gaslighting. So whenever people, you know, call me a conspiracy theorist, it's like, oh, geez. The brainwashing, the programming is thick here. You don't even know what you're saying. You're taking it right out of the playbook. Yeah, Peace of Mind saying the term is thrown around, and if people know the term is just used to gaslight and manipulate us away from the truth, we could take more power back. Agreed, agreed. Well, yeah, they call it a conspiracy theory. I call it a conspiracy reality. Yeah, people conspire to steal elections. Is it really that shocking? Like, go watch the news. I mean, you know, all of it, not just CNN, okay? Go get a full spectrum of information here, and then tell me how shocking it is that people conspire to steal elections. Sunflower saying, I watch no news anymore, no TV at all. Good for you. Peace of Mind saying, Aquarius moon here. Awesome. Welcome, fellow Aquarians. Indigroove said, I burned my Bernie shirt after 2016. Why did you have a Bernie shirt in the first place? And then why did you burn it? I want to hear that from you, Indigroove. Peace of Mind is saying, am I in the Twilight Zone? New World Order, get ready. Yeah. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. And the crazy thing about it is I read a lot, you know. And then I find myself getting into arguments with people like Anita and telling me that I'm just, oh, that's just your opinion. You don't have the facts. But then I try to get facts out of her or get her to answer to facts. Oh, fact, people are homeless in your state in record numbers. Fact, people are leaving your state in record numbers. Why is that? She never answered, you know. And I get treated like this is all the time. This is the problem. You try to talk to the opposing party, and this is where we get with them. Nowhere. Like, I don't think at all that there's anything I've said that's going to change her mind. I probably just pissed her off. She probably thinks I hate liberals and Democrats. Honestly, and this is, you want to know, like, you want to get inside my head real time and know what I think? Like, recently I was thinking, my God, you know, these people are victims of a psyop, a psychological operation. All of this media is propaganda, and they've been manipulated and brainwashed, and they're victims. And that's how you get people to go out and do things like what I say, you know, attacking their fellow Americans, disenfranchising their fellow Americans, burning down their own cities and towns, destroying local businesses, people who are keeping money in their local economy. This is how you get people to do stuff like that. You brainwash them, you convince them that everybody is a racist and a bigot, and that you're doing some moral good to destroy things. These are psyop victims. They are. That's how I look at them. But they're going to look at us like, you know, those of us who think different, like we're in the Twilight Zone for taking it that way. Indigroove is saying, don't take the vaccines, people not good for you, sensitive topic, but I won't be going along with that psyop. Well, me either, and that's another reason why, you know, I didn't vote for Trump. You know, those of you who know me, have been following me for years, know that I'm the mother of 3 completely unvaccinated children. And I've even spoken to large groups about vaccines, you know. I've studied and researched it a lot. Like, I'm not going to be doing that. And that's, again, something that vaccines, one, whether you voted Bernie or Biden, excuse me, whether you voted for Biden or Trump, you voted for vaccines. And I'm just, and I was disturbed, honestly, about some things that Trump has said about vaccines. You know, and having, and the use of the military for that, like, very disturbed by that. And so, I can't get behind that. I can't support that, you know. But I hope it doesn't go that way. But I know, because of keeping my kids unvaccinated legally for the last 21 years, my oldest is 21 years old, I know that there's always loopholes. So, you know, but again, you have to be educated, because if you are, you know, looking at other people to give you the answers, like school districts or whatever, a lot of people are not informed about that, and they're going to tell you, well, you have to, because they don't know the loopholes, they don't know the laws. And so, so I'm going to definitely, over the next year, be watching for that, to find out what legal protections there are for those of us who like to practice vaccine choice. Because when you have no choice over your health care, you're a slave. Okay? Again, back on the freedom talk. You can agree or disagree with my philosophy, but for whatever the reason, but the bottom line is, this is America, people. And the moment anybody has the right to tell you what to do with your body, you don't have freedom. You're a slave, is what you are. And the favorite phrase of propagandists is, it's for your safety. And we got a whole hell of a lot of that this year now, didn't we? It's for your safety. Put a mask on. Oh my God, look at that. I recently heard somebody, I think out in Canada, was giving the numbers, like they had 1,000 less deaths in Canada this year than the previous year. Oh, I thought we had a bunch of people dying from corona. Just wait, I mean, you can already go on the CDC website and look at how many people are dying from COVID alone. Very, very small number. I mean, we're talking 0.01%, or I think it's 4%, 0.04%. They have listed as COVID only deaths. Everybody else, comorbidity, something else was going on. But the people who died of COVID only, the majority of those were elderly, advanced age, lowered immune system, okay? But we've been having to wear these masks, and the thing is that I have a theory that this was, I'm absolutely believing this was a pandemic. This was to get people to get behind these mail-in ballots. Oh, COVID, let's just mail it out. Wow. And then we could do voter fraud real easy, right? Oh, yeah, we saw that play out. And y'all noticed that as soon as the election was called for Biden, people were out celebrating, having these mass gatherings that we're not supposed to have because of COVID. I saw videos of these people, passing bottles of wine around, celebrating, drinking from the same bottles. Like, wow, what about, spreading COVID? Aren't you worried about that? But all of a sudden, no, because hey, Biden got elected, so I guess COVID disappeared all of a sudden. I really think there's a lot of scams going on. Peace of Mind says, yeah, look at the name of Bill Gates vaccine. Well, I was listening, by the way, to this. I follow this guy called Dollar Vigilante. And he's now having to go put his stuff elsewhere. He can't put it on YouTube without getting taken down. Like, he's afraid now that they're about to take all his whole channel down. So if you go to Dollar Vigilante on YouTube, you're gonna see he only puts like 2 minutes of the video, and then he gives you the link to go watch the rest of it on Library or BitChute or his website. Anyway, I was watching him today, and he's like, well, you realize who got selected here, whether it was Trump or Biden. Bill Gates got selected because it's pro-vaccine. That's what both of the candidates were offering us, is a vaccine. Like, where's the candidate offering us, freedom from all of this? We didn't get that candidate in this election. So Bill Gates wins no matter who wins. Sunflower says, I'm working on getting my dual Mexican citizenship. I'm really tired of this hot mess. I'm not saying that Mexico is any better, but this is a way too much for my mental health. Hey, Sunflower, this is crazy that you brought this up. I'm just not reading this because I was just talking about Dollar Vigilante, and he's an expatriate. He went out to Mexico, and he films out there all the time. And he's like, hey, everything that you people in the United States have been hearing about Mexico is like way worse than it is. He says, like, I have more freedom out here in the United States. And I don't know. I mean, I've looked at it like, wow, maybe I should do that. Sunflower, I think you're onto something. To tell you the truth, that might be good. And DeGroove is saying Bill Gates is Epstein's buddy. I kind of like the idea of Mexico minus the gangs. Yes, in DeGroove, same here. Bernie was anti-nuclear, in DeGroove saying, after Fukushima, which I am too, and then he got cheated in the primaries when he endorsed Hillary. I burned it. Yeah, that just, like, if you had any respect for the man, I mean, I didn't, because he was pro-socialism. I mean, I hear on the Fukushima point, like, I'm with you on that as well, but after he caved to Hillary, I'm like, man, you don't even have any cojones, okay? You're just a piece of man. Sorry. Like, if you're gonna cave to that, I understand why you burned your shirt. Indigru says, I've always been no party, non-voter. I voted Bernie over Hillary, didn't vote in Trump-Hillary election, though I got suckered in. Indigru is saying, unvaxxed children, I respect to you, good mother. Thank you. Well, a lot of people think I'm ignorant. I've actually read a lot of books on it, and I do, and I did some political activism in Texas at the Texas State Capitol many years ago, knocking on doors, shaking hands with legislators for vaccine choice in Texas. And I did that with a group of mothers whose children were vaccine injured. So these are women who, bought the official line, oh, it's safe, and then their kids end up vaccine injured or dead. And so these are a strong group of women who had joined together to make sure that in Texas, the parents who want choice have that protected, and they're not forced to vaccinate. So you don't have that in California. See, we can go back to California. There's no vaccine choice out in California. And I don't even think you're allowed to have a midwife out there. I think that's against the law, which all my children were, basically I had prenatal care with a midwife, and they were home birthed, and can't do that out in California. You can't not vaccinate your kids out there. So there's no freedom out there. People don't understand, and it's all for your safety. But if people would learn propaganda, they'd know that's the oldest trick in the book. They've been doing that since, Nazi Germany. It's for your safety. It's for your safety. That's how they get people to do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do. Oh, because it's your safety. And then all of a sudden you become a bad person and you're wanting to harm other people if you don't go along. By the way, that's what we're getting with this mask thing. You're a bad person. I even saw memes. You're a sociopath if you don't wear a mask. See the peer pressure, the gaslighting, the manipulation that's going on, and it's all propaganda. And if people would get educated, they'd recognize it for what it is. But instead, people get duped. Peace of Mind says they'll be putting luciferase in Bill's new vaccine. It's what makes lightning bugs glow. Weirdest thing. Yeah, I've heard some weird stuff going on about that vaccine, that they're going to have, is it nanobots or whatever? They're putting technology in there to they're like trackers, okay? And it's, Indigru is saying science is satanic. Well, it has become that, and this is the problem. Science is a religion for a lot of people. They worship it. And it's corrupt. I mean, we have a lot of paid for science, where people are paid to find whatever findings they need to find in order to get certain policies or whatever pushed. And again, you got a lot of people who are naive about this stuff. They think, well, a scientist said so, so it must be. Well, how much did they get paid to say that? Peace of Mind is saying, my boyfriend's son was vaccinated and he developed autism. I am so sorry. And this is something that is especially sad. There's a lot of research out there which the CDC tried to hide. You can go research. People want to talk about facts. Go look it up online. I know Google's doing a really good job of hiding stuff, but you can look it up. A few years back, there was a whistleblower who came out from the CDC and was saying that they purposefully hid scientific testing on the MMR vaccine, I believe, showing that there was a much higher rate of autism in males, young boys, particularly black boys. Oh yeah. And I listen to doctors like Dr. Tenpenny talk about how, these vaccines are basically a chemical lobotomy. They're loaded with aluminum, thimerosal, which is a derivative of mercury. And all of these are neurotoxins. So, you know, when you keep putting all these vaccines in your body, even in trace amounts, it adds up to something, and you're giving yourself a chemical lobotomy. And unfortunately, there are tests out there showing that it impacts, there's a higher risk of injury to males and young black boys. And so, you know, but again, we don't have media that's honest, that discusses these things. And really, it's no wonder when you realize the majority of mainstream media's advertisers have been for so long big pharma. They're not going to do some expose on the people that are paying their bills. Indigroove is saying, my freedom is God-given, to hell with man's authority. Oh, Sunflower's saying she's got a house in Acapulco. Ooh, lucky you. Lucky you. Battles, hey, Battles, good to see you. She's saying, thank you for the breath of fresh air and some honest talk to clear the brain waves. Thank you. Sunflower's saying, you're in Texas. I'm traveling to Dallas in 8 days. I'm from Chicago. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, I'm way up in North Texas, unfortunately. I am considering, I'm trying to keep this top secret. I'm planning on being out there in Austin. So I might be passing through Dallas around Friday, Saturday. So I'm excited about that. Tentatively planning on a trip to Austin. So, yeah. Indigroove saying, keep your spirituality strong and you will make it through. Well, thank you. I mean, I'm working on it. And right now, like I said from the beginning, the astrology has been really rough on me with Mars in my 12th house, and it's not leaving until the end of February. And then I'm dealing with the South and North Node currently right now directly opposite, reverse of my natal nodes. And so everything's just upside down for me right now, and I've had trouble sleeping. I've had some disturbing dreams. I've felt lost, you know, but I do feel like God is telling me, you know, just to kind of like this right now. And that's really all I've got. That's really all that I'm going off of right now. So that's all I have. I see some other people have joined in, and so welcome in to those of you who joined. And Carter Anderson wants to know, when do you typically change mantle? Oh, this one here. The mantle will probably get changed, I don't know, around Thanksgiving time. We'll make it more Christmassy with stockings and all of that. It's been this way for a while because I got frustrated. I think it was like in September. I put this up in September because I was done with this year. So I was like, I don't care if it's not fall yet. I'm going to make it fall. I'm decorating for fall because I'm done with this year. This year's crazy. I need this year to hurry up and go away. And so Sunflower says, I'm state shopping. Georgia and Texas are winning so far, before Mexico, hopefully, of course. Girl, I said, come on over to Texas. Welcome. And, if Anita's still watching, notice I said welcome to somebody who's from what? You said you're from Chicago? Yeah, you're from Chicago. Welcome. Come on over. Come on over. If you're from, I don't care where you're from. Come be a part of Texas, We got a song out here, by the way. I'm not really into country music, but there's a song by Lyle Lovett called, it's kind of funny. You're not from Texas, but Texas wants you anyway. That's a song. And we welcome everybody. We're a friendly state, And so, um, I don't know if the election night is any hint. I think that you would probably do better out in Texas because we didn't have the fraud going on that Georgia had. But I mean, I'm in Texas and I'm looking at Mexico too. I'll be honest with you, because I watch Dollar Vigilante and he expatriated there, and I'm just like, maybe he's onto something. But I prayed about it, and I felt like God was telling me, stand firm, because if the freedom-loving people don't defend freedom, if we get run off by all the socialists, Marxists, communists, there's nothing. What else are you going to have in this world? That's going to be the end of the republic. That's going to be the end of a constitutional republic, conclusively. I mean, some would argue that we're already done for, okay, because we've already been infiltrated way too much. And I think that there's some truth to what they're saying. But, I don't know, my own, in my own personal time, my own personal prayer time, I just feel like I'm being led to stay and to hold firm. Jake is asking, are you single? Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Jake. I sure am. And Eric is saying, do you go straight from Halloween to Christmas? I don't really do Halloween. I'm not a Halloween person. I'm more into the seasons, fall. So, and it's kind of a frugal thing as well. It's just more economical rather than decorating for two different seasons, Halloween and Thanksgiving. I just make it one, fall. And then I also have to decorate less because I just throw it up and it stays up for 2 months. So I don't have to take it down and put something else back up and take it down and put something else. You know what I'm saying? Jake Driscoll is saying, what's your favorite Bible? Version or verse? Version or verse? I mean, if you're asking version, I like the Message Bible. I'm a big fan of the Message Bible because it reads like a novel. It reads like a story. And the guy who wrote it, he's very knowledgeable. He's a scholar, so he writes it in a way to make it really understandable. And Carter Anderson is saying, isn't 1776 when electricity was invented? No. This is what I'm talking about, people. Oh, sweet Jesus. This is when America won its independence from the Brits. This is when the Americans won the Revolutionary War. We won our freedom. And it only took 3% of the population, most of the people just sat down on their tuchus. Did y'all know that? During the Revolutionary War, only 3% fought against the Brits. 97% sat on their tuchus and didn't do anything. So that lets you know it just takes a very strong, fierce, adamant minority of people to win, for better or worse. For better or worse. So those of you who are about this, freedom, you want to maintain a constitutional republic, you might be in the minority in this country. Or at times it feels like you're in the minority. Or you're being told to shut up and act like you're in the minority, all right? Or we're going to blacklist you or censor you or whatever. But if you stay strong, fierce, and ferocious, you can get far with it. This is a testimony to that. So let's see what other comments we have. Sunflower, I have tons of family in El Paso. Yeah, that's out west. And Indigo says, I have a large family in Beaumont. I'm familiar with Beaumont. Absolutely. A lot of people out there from Louisiana and Beaumont. Okay, Jake is saying, I love freedom and anime. Sounds like you love anime. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of new people coming in, and that's interesting. And those of you who are not familiar with me, you know, I post generally a lot of videos that are pre-recorded and edited on spirituality, relationships, alternative health. I try to go live like this once a month, so if you want to, you know, tune back in next time, make sure you've subscribed, activated the bell, and you'll be notified whenever I have something, you know, new come out. But I might not be doing this again, you know, until December, right? Because this is my once a month, and I'm doing it for November. So yeah, y'all might not see me live again until November, but God willing, I'll be putting out more videos on relationships and spirituality and alternative health and all of that. I might be putting more on politics. You know, my daughter was like, yeah, go for it. I did recently create a conscious politics playlist. I did not intend to put a lot of content on there, but one of my daughters was like, yeah, you need to do that more. And I don't know, maybe I will, because it's a hot topic right now. And as I've been writing about it, putting it on my community page, I've been getting some pretty good positive feedback on that. It's been resonating with a lot of you, so that's good. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that YouTube's going to treat me well, but at this rate, I'm just like, I ain't got nothing left to lose. I mean, YouTube has not been very friendly to me the last year, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of in a dark zone with it, but it is what it is, and this too shall pass, right? And I'm just going to do whatever I feel Spirit is leading me to do. And of course, y'all, you know, if you want to hear particular content coming from me, make sure to comment down below and, you know, let me know. And I'm live. I'll be off in a minute. That was my daughter just got home. So anyway, yeah, that's it. I mean, I think I'm pretty much going to wrap it up on that note. But y'all, you know, like I say, I'm not going to tell you to stay safe. I'm going to tell you to stay free. And there's definitely a war going on for people's freedom. And if you witness your fellow Americans, you know, being violent or, you know, antagonistic towards your other fellow Americans, or stealing from them, or vandalizing, or any of this type of, you need to call their asses out. You really do. We need to stop going along with this. We need to stop cowering to this. Like I said, I didn't vote for Trump, but I can defend my fellow Americans' rights to a fair election. and a transparent media. And we've got to stop all of this lying and this violence and all of this stuff going on that is so un-American. And yes, let's be friends if you're liberal, if you're a Democrat. I dare you to not unsubscribe. I dare you to continue watching and connecting and reasoning with me, because I'm not shutting any of you down. You know, you can believe what you want. And we can still be friends, right? We can agree to disagree. And I guess that's all I got to say for tonight. I rambled on for quite some time, but it was good talking to all of you. And thank you for subscribing and hitting the bell. And y'all take good care. And if you want more commentary, also, I put it on my community page. And again, if you hit the bell, you'll get notified of that. So if you just want to stay in touch, then, you know, look for that community page, because I'll comment on there from time to time to connect with you on more than a once a month basis with these lives. All right, till next time, y'all be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.